All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon with Jesse Luketa. We will do same process as always. Raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll get started with Rich Scarcella.
Good afternoon, Jesse. How are you today?
How you doing, Rich?
I'm okay, thanks. Jesse, a lot of your teammates talked about him yesterday, but I'd like to ask you, what does the loss of PJ for the rest of the season mean to the defensive line, mean to you personally?
I'm gonna start off with me personally. It sucks seeing a guy like PJ go down. Just knowing how much he's invested. His leadership, and it's a thrill being able to play beside him. We call him Big Baby, so losing him, it sucks, but it also presents so much more opportunity for the guys in the room. We're excited. We have a standard. I feel like we've been consistent with that week to week. It doesn't matter who's going to be, in the rotation with us. The standard is the standard, and we're going to continue to meet it.
Anderly Penwell.
Jesse, what elements of Illinois' offense do you think you guys will be able to exploit, or what are you preparing for schematically? And also, kind of secondary, how are you guys preparing for an objectively lesser Big Ten opponent?
It doesn't matter. The biggest thing with us, we respect our opponent. You never want to underestimate your opponent as well. They're a good, well-rounded group of offensive weapons. Guys like Chase Brown. I'm looking forward to that matchup and whatnot. They do a lot of good things, schematically. So it's going to be a great matchup. We had a great day of practice yesterday, so we're looking forward to today.
Max Ralph.
Jesse, thanks for your time. You've been pretty outspoken in saying that your transition to defensive end hasn't necessarily been difficult for you, but has it changed the way that you've watched film at all?
Absolutely not. I pride myself on being a film junkie. So like when I'm breaking down, whether it's, coming out situations, high red zone, low red zone, I'm looking for the same things. I'm looking for keys, tendencies, and, what they do well. Our biggest thing is, we want to be physical. The game's obviously going to be won up front in the trenches. So just looking for, tendencies, keys are going to allow us to play faster and just understanding what they want to do situational. And yeah.
Joe Giuliano.
Hi, Jesse. Coach Franklin told us yesterday that PJ is still on the sidelines with you guys at practice, and he's also going around in a little scooter or something.
Yeah.
First of all, have you taken a ride in that thing? And secondly, what's it like, still having him out there encouraging you and guiding you guys?
Yeah, it's great having PJ out there. He has such a strong presence, as far as his leadership and everything. So just his presence being on the sideline, his little scooter, it's a joy to have him. But what was the second part of your question, sir?
Just that I just asked you if he'd given you a ride, or if he let you drive.
It's a one-seater, so I can't fit in there with him.
Go ahead, Rich Scarcella.
Jesse, with the situation at quarterback unsettled, does it put more pressure on you guys on defense for the immediate future?
Absolutely not. It doesn't matter. Situation coming out, sudden change. We have a job to do, and we're having fun doing it.
Nate Bauer.
Hey, Jesse. How much of the season is still a learning process for you with the position? Like, how much of it is picking things up, picking new things up? Is that constant versus just going with what you got and perfecting what's kind of in the toolbox?
It's every day for me. My biggest thing is you can't get too comfortable. I feel like when you're in a situation where you're forced to continue to grow and forced to be out of your comfort zone, it's going to allow you to to thrive in the most hostile environments. For me, especially, making that transition, I'm learning every day. I'm always chomping at the bit to perfect my craft. So, practice, I'm doing this, trusting my eyes, trusting my keys and whatnot. So it's allowing me to become a better football player. And, I'm playing at a high level, I feel. So week to week, we're getting better. I'm feeling more and more comfortable. So it's a 1 week at a time thing when no mentality.
John Sauber.
Jesse, how did you personally handle the bye week? And what have you learned about this team since the loss to Iowa, since we're about 10 days out of it now?
So I spent my time just recovering, watching football, seeing the do's and don'ts, a lot of good things, a lot of good games were played, covering mostly, watching more film in Illinois. The biggest thing I've learned from my group in the few 2-week span is just how resilient and how hungry we are as a unit. Things gonna go our way. It is what it is, but on to the next. We're focused on Illinois, and I'm excited for this weekend.
Samuel Freeman.
Hi, Jesse. I just had a quick question about Coach Franklin mentioned earlier on this week that Micah Parsons is back up during the Cowboys bye week. I was just curious to know if you've seen him yet, and if it was in a sort of reconnection capacity, or if Micah's been working with anybody on the defense.
So he actually just got into town. So he was in Harrisburg yesterday. She's going to be here later today. But absolutely, whenever I'm able to, see my brother, it's always good to finally reconnect. So while he's up here, probably just relax, chill, watch ball. I'm not gonna have him do too much. This is his bye week, so just gonna be chilling. Good vibes, watch ball, talk ball, and just be us.
Joe Giuliano.
Jesse, PJ's absence means a lot, on the field. How do you guys fill the leadership hole with him not being actively on the field for the time being?
I feel as if losing a guy like PJ, it sucks. But as far as leadership, guys like myself, Ellis Brooks, Tariq Castlefield, Jaquan Brisker, there's no drop off. We lost a big piece, one of our soldiers, but there's that much more point of emphasis why we got to play harder for P, because he'd do anything to be out there with him. So we're doing this for him.
Max Ralph.
Jesse, you mentioned Chase Brown as a part of the Illinois offense that stood out to you. What do they do specifically in the run game that impresses you to prepare for?
The biggest thing I say, they're stretched. They want to give Chase the opportunity to get downhill. They use him a lot coming out of the backfield, in the passing game as well. So, he's a very versatile back. He has a lot of things that he does bring to the table. Him, and as well as number 0, big boy, runs hard. He had a great game against Purdue. So they're a very, very talented group.
Nate Bauer.
Jesse, you just mentioned Ellis. I'm wondering what you think has allowed him to have the success that he's had so far this season.
Ellis is a very instinctive player. A lot of the things that he does on the film, you can't teach. So, I think, just the maturity, his approach, how he's been able to prepare this season, it's been allowing him to, to perform at such a high level and, and make those big time plays. It's honestly, there's times where I'm watching the film that's like, I'll be like, damn, he's flowing, he's trusting his keys, slipping blocks. And he's doing that at a very high level. And I've been very impressed with him.
Any final questions for Jesse? Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Jesse, you were talking earlier about Micah. Did you give him a lot of stuff about his performance on Hard Knocks? And what do you think of the way he's been playing so far?
I wasn't really surprised when I see Micah on Hard Knocks. To the rest of the world, that's Micah in like 247. So it was nothing new to me. But he's a comedian. As far as what was the second question, sir?
Just how he's been performing this year. Have you watched?
He's been performing. Honestly, I think he's been playing lights out. I told him the standard is the standard. I'm expecting the defensive player of the year. It's between him and Jason. So I want both my brothers to win it, but someone has to come through with it. But they've both been playing at such a high level. They look comfortable. They're having fun flying around and making big time plays and big time moments that are allowing their team to be successful. So hats off to them.
Anything else for Jesse? All right, perfect. Thank you everybody for your time this afternoon, and thanks Jesse for yours as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jesse.